Hi, my name is Terry, and you're watching Terry Tells the Story. I recently discovered that when honeybees find a patch of flowers, she goes back to the hive and performs what scientists call a waggle dance. She vibrates her backside in a very specific figure-8 pattern, and the angle of her waggle in relation to the sun actually tells every other bee in the hive the exact location of the nectar. She's essentially drawing a map in the air with her booty to show her sisters the distance and direction of the food. The duration of the waggle is precise. For every 1 second she shakes her abdomen, it represents about 1 kilometer of flight distance. If she doesn't shake it at the right angle, the hive doesn't eat. They twerk to communicate. And I thought that was really cute. And it got me wondering if there were other animals who use their butts for functional purposes. Besides humans, of course, who use them to attract mates. And here's what I found. Take the eagle, for instance. When they're diving at 100 miles an hour, they aren't just using their wings to steer. They're using their tail feathers to act as both a rudder and an air brake. It's a high-speed balancing act that allows them to make sharp banked turns that would normally flip a bird over. These feathers are so sensitive they can detect minute changes in air pressure, allowing the eagle to adjust its trajectory in milliseconds. Without that precise flick of the tail, they'd miss their prey or crash into a tree. Then there's the ground squirrel. When a rattlesnake corners one, the squirrel starts flagging its tail. It looks like it's just being extra, but it's actually a tactical defense mechanism called infrared signaling. The squirrel pushes warm blood into its tail to raise its body temperature by several degrees. Since rattlesnakes see in the infrared spectrum, that glowing, moving tail looks like a massive thermal flare that confuses the snake's heat-seeking sensors. The snake thinks it's looking at a giant, aggressive monster instead of just a small squirrel. And that split second of confusion is usually enough time for the squirrel to escape a strike. But the real tank of the group is the wombat. Their rear end is reinforced with 4 plates of bone and thick cartilage. It's an armored plug. When a predator like a dingo follows them into a burrow, the wombat just blocks the entrance with its butt, creating an impenetrable wall. Because the skin there is so thick and lacks many nerve endings, the wombat can take bites that would kill any other animal. And if the predator doesn't take the hint, the wombat uses its massive leg muscles to butt slam the attacker's skull against the roof of the tunnel repeatedly, crushing it to death. Then you have the bombardier beetle. This thing has a chemical plant in its rear consisting of 2 separate chambers. It keeps hydroquinone and hydrogen peroxide stored separately. But when it's threatened, it mixes them in a reaction chamber. This creates a violent chemical explosion that hits 100 degrees Celsius. Now, for those of you who don't remember from 5th grade science class, that is the boiling point of water. The beetle blasts it out of its backside in a lethal, powerful jet of force. It's essentially a biological flamethrower that can burn or even blind anything that gets too close. So it started with a cute bee, but it turns out that it's not just humans. Even in the wild, being willing to shake it can literally save your life. So the Spanish I'm going to be teaching you today is el perro tiene un trasero peludo. El perro tiene un trasero peludo. And what that means is the dog has a furry butt. If you like this video or you learned something new, drop a like down below. If you have a specific topic that you'd like to see me cover, drop me a comment. And if you'd like to support this work that I do, there'll be a link to the Cashapp in the description box below. We'll see you next time.